Well, the time has come, folks. People were warning about it like an imminent threat. Sonic Generations is yet another Sonic game getting delisted, becoming yet another game being vanquished into the void of time and space as a shiny new remaster, Sonic X Shadow Generations, is set to take its place. The date is set for September 9th for the Xbox Store and Steam. Somehow the PS3's PlayStation Store evaded this announcement, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sony is planning on shutting it down soon anyway, considering how Microsoft just recently shut down the Xbox 360 store and marketplace. But Delisted has an asterisk next to it because the Sonic the Hedgehog social media team took to X to try to control the justifiably angry fans. Fear not, because you can still buy the original Sonic Generations as long as you fork over the extra money for a bundle, which contains other games you might not want. And this just pissed me off to no end, inspiring me to make my own post and reply, and it especially pissed me off when I read numerous fans actually licking Sega's boots as they basically used game preservation as a tool to get people to spend more money. And these goofballs, and by goofballs I'm actually talking about the fans that thanked Sega. Thank you, Sega overlords, for using an underhanded tactic to hold a game hostage in the form of buying a bundle. How can this not be perceived as anything other than pathetic? Thanking a multi-billion-dollar corporation for creating rules to take people's money? What a bunch of poor, pathetic souls. And if you're not one of these spineless, worm-like, hive-minded buffoons, I'm sorry, but you're far too easy to please. And this is coming from someone who has hot takes embedded into the very fiber of his being. Not a single person in that thread, from what I saw, or at least very few, because from the majority of what I saw was agreeableness, asked the golden question. The question that was burning to be answered. It should have been burning the tip of their tongues like a fucking hot stove. And what was that question? Why in the fuck even delist it at all? On Reddit, fans were actually trying to quote-unquote educate people who share my viewpoint about it not making sense to make this compromise when Sega can just leave the game up. And these educators' response, well, Sega is a business, and they deserve to do this by maximizing their profits by putting the focus solely on the new remastered version. They claim that people will see the old version of the game and accidentally buy it as opposed to the new version, Sonic X Shadow. And it just made me chuckle. Yeah, well, that's the whole reason they want to do it, of course, and that's the reason why they are now holding the old version hostage behind a bundle paywall when the game already had a price tag to begin with. I think these Sega defenders don't even realize it, but they're totally missing the point. The point is, this is yet another missile fired in the war on game preservation. Why do you think so many people emulate and pirate games, geniuses? It's because of poor anti-consumer business tactics like this. Pretty much every Sonic fan is sure to buy the new version. It has a totally different cover and a different title. And I get that not all consumers are as educated as others, but these boot-licking apologists are basically putting words and excuses in Sega's mouth. Sega doesn't even need to hire a fucking PR team because some of their fans do it for them with no pay. But they'll gladly take their money. And let's play some fun trivia. What's the main reason it's a bad idea to take the original version of a game down and make it unavailable? Well, any takers? Well, there was Sonic Origins for one, and probably a better example of the ultimate bullshit delisting. The original versions of the Grand Theft Auto trilogy when the horrendous definitive edition was about to release. I recently bought a Steam key for GTA 3 for way more than what it originally cost on Steam. And this just shouldn't be in 2024, especially when the only versions of the GTA trilogy that are officially available to buy for purchase are the broken and busted ones in the definitive edition version. It's also very suspicious because more times than not, when an original version of a game is delisted, a buggy and problematic remaster becomes the only available version, forcing consumers to buy the new version, robbing them of choosing the old and superior version. It's the perfect trap for laziness. Now, I'm not saying Sonic X Shadow Generations is going to be a shitty remaster, but then again, I don't know. Look at the GTA Definitive Edition. I'm looking forward to it and playing the new Shadow story, but it's also still a bit lazy that they are remastering a game that still looks better than a lot of current gen stuff. Meaning it probably was the last Sonic game that needed a remaster. From the footage, it barely looks noticeable. It reminds me of Sonic Colors Ultimate in that it's a low effort remaster that's more of a cleanup than a remaster. And this is a noticeable trend with many companies. An all too common trend of backing consumers into a corner and limiting their options so they're forced to buy an inferior product to save a few bucks. So to summarize my scathing rant, if you're giving credit to Sega for taking something away from you solely for the purpose of trying to bamboozle consumers into buying a product, whether it's good or not, is total bullshit, and you should not be supporting it. And for those who think I'm a Sega hater, I've defended plenty of their games, so I don't want to hear it. This isn't about me. It's about the fans who allow themselves to be coerced by a massive corporation and shower them with praise for being oh so generous and throwing them table scraps while they bank off their ignorance. Sonic Generations should not be delisted, and Sega is no better than the scam artist at Rockstar. But I am pulling for Sonic X Shadow Generations to be worth all the bullshit. So guys, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think Sega is wrong for delisting this game? Do you think that they're justified in doing so? Do you think that this compromise of having you buy a bundle to be able to own Sonic Generations? I would love to know, so let's discuss it down below. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bells to get all the notifications when I post all my new videos. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Hit the thumbs down if you fucking hated it. And I want to thank all my subscribers for your continued support, and any donations that you could give on Patreon would be greatly appreciated. And thanks again, guys. I'll see you next time.